Good morning, YouTube friends and family, and welcome to Vlogmas number 7. Let's make and can some Christmas jam. So this video is actually a video response to the Kneady Homesteader. And if you watch a lot of homesteading type channels, you may have seen several people participating in making Christmas jam, and everyone has their own little take on it, and I am no exception. So I've had a few requests that I show a little bit more of my prep and setup when I get ready to can. So today's canning will be water bath canning, but I actually thought that that was a really good question. So I'm going to share with you what I've done so far. So right here on the counter in front of me is my actual canning station. So I disinfect all of my counters, and then I get together the things I'm going to need to put my product in the jar. So I have white vinegar and a paper towel to wipe the rims. I have my debubbler, my magnetic lid lifter, my jar lifter for the canner, a funnel, and I really like this one because it has the measurements for headspace on it, but any funnel will do. And then I think this is from, yes, Prepworks, the ladle, and it's been in and out of stock, I guess, on Amazon. I absolutely love it, and it's just the perfect scoop. I also put some trivets down, one for my lids and rings, and yes, I still heat my lids and rings, and then one for the actual product because we will be putting it in the jars hot. And isn't this just super adorable, guys? I know it's a little worse for the wear. These two trivets are probably, I'm guessing, from the 70s, but they were a gift from my mother. I think she got them at a garage sale. My parents used to live in Florida, and then when my dad became extremely ill, came back to Ohio. But she said this reminded her of me because I'm the blonde in the family. And then the little boy reminded her of my son Ben because he loves animals. So I thought that was really cute. Oh my gosh, I'm getting off track already. Yeah. So over here, and let me just bring you along. I'm so bad at balancing this tripod. I wanted to share with you my juicer. It's called a Juice King, and these were actually popular back in the 40s. I am going to say this is probably from the 50s. It's a little bit of an upgrade from some of the very early models. I tried getting online and doing a little research because I just think it's so cool. You put your orange half in and squeeze, and then it has a little tray that you can remove to get the seeds and such out of. So I have pre-squeezed, and I'm gonna put the directions in the description box and the recipe, so don't even worry about it. I pre-squeezed some orange juice. I have gotten some cherry juice because this is actually a cranberry cherry jam out of the bag of frozen cranberries. So lest you think I'm having wine for breakfast, I tasted it, and this is the leftover because I only needed a half cup. It is so good, and you know, dark red cherries are high in vitamin C, so I decided I'm gonna actually drink that, and I bet you could even make like a pancake syrup out of it as well. So moving over to the sink, you'll see I have all of my 4-ounce jelly jars, and even though this was a brand new box of jars, and I'm sure you've all seen it, people will just open their flat of jars and throw them in the water bath canner to heat up without washing them. With COVID, with just germs in general, I always wash mine in hot soapy water. So I've got these soaking because I have not yet had breakfast. My phone needs charged before I can actually start the jam. It's just been a whole thing. And sorry, the washer's running, so if you hear that in the background, I apologize. In this container, and I'm just gonna tip it, I have a 40-ounce bag of dark sweet cherries. So in preparation for making the jam, because cherries have pits, even though they're pitted cherries, I cut each and every cherry apart, you know, where it was split to pop out the pit. just to make sure that there were no pits. It would be tragic, and it would happen to me too, if you bit down on a pit and broke a tooth. So I did not find any pits at all, but if I wouldn't have done it, there would have been like 6 pits. So the other thing I've done is I took a 12-ounce bag of cranberries, and these are really lovely, aren't they? I just can't wait to taste this jam. And I have those in my heavy cast iron saucepan, enamel coated cast iron saucepan, and they have been washed, if I didn't say that, and picked through as well. And then I also wanted to share with you, I am not a person who likes to waste anything. So because I needed to squeeze 2 oranges for this recipe, and again, I'll go through the recipe as we go along here, I wanted to add my own little touch, and I grated just the orange, not the white pith, bitter part of the orange, but I grated about a teaspoon off of the orange, and it just smells delicious. And that, I think, will give this sweet jam a very bright flavor. So not to waste the orange peels. I don't know if I've ever shown this before, but this is just a glass jar. And whenever I use anything and have citrus peels, I will take out some of the older peels, put in new, pardon me. Sorry guys, I kind of got the hiccups here. Put in new orange peels, cover it with, so sorry, white vinegar. And then I just, sorry. Oh my gosh, this should be a blooper reel. Let me grab a drink here. Oh my word. Okay, enough hiccups, I hope. But anyway, I put it in a dark cabinet. So not only did I get the juice from the orange, I got the peel. I also am going to use these for cleaning. And if you've never done this, you can also candy orange peel. And that was a treat that I had growing up as a young girl. My mom would candy grapefruit and orange peels because we usually got some big fruit baskets from my dad's work. So put this back over here. I've pre-measured my spices. I've pre-measured my sugar. And then back in the back here, I have mixed my, oh my gosh, I'm having one of those days, a 1/4 cup of sugar and the pectin that you need for this recipe. And I have my lids already washed and popped into the pan on the jar, and my water bath canner heating up because it does take quite a while. So I'm gonna go eat some breakfast, and just something y'all don't know about me, might as well share it. I have a tendency to get really, really bad hiccups, and so I've been this way all my life. And when I was in my 30s, I had to have surgery, and that's a shock, right? I got post-operative hiccups, which I guess is a thing. Like, some people have that reaction to anesthesia, and I literally hiccuped for 48 hours straight before I finally, because it was an outpatient surgery, called the doctor, and I'm like, you have to do something. I can't eat, I can't drink, I can't sleep. And he gave me some type of an anti-anxiety type medication, knocked it right out. But yeah, my hiccups are over. But usually once I start, I will have hiccups on and off for days. So I'm just gonna apologize ahead of time for my hiccuping. So I'm gonna go have a bite of breakfast, wash up my jars, move the tripod, and then I'll bring you back and we'll start making some yummy Christmas jam. All right, well, we're back, and I thought I would just bring you along and show you first steps. So in my enamel cast iron pot, I have placed 12 ounces of fresh cranberries, picked and washed. And then to that, I have added the juice of 2 oranges, which was about 1/2 cup. And then instead of the water to make 1 cup, I decided to add the cherry juice from the 40-ounce bag of frozen cherries. So I'm hoping that will make a more flavorful jam. I've tasted both the cherries, and they're just great value brand, and the cherry juice, and they both are quite delicious. lots and lots of cherry flavor. So you can see we're kind of steaming here, and what we are going to do is we are going to cook these cranberries for about 5 minutes until they start to pop. So I'll bring you back in just a moment. I wanted you to listen for just a moment because you can actually hear those cranberries popping. Hear that? Kind of sounds like popcorn. So you'll see them start to split, and that's when you know your cranberries are cooking appropriately. So hang tight. We'll be back in just a moment. Well, I apologize for this next part because somehow I accidentally recorded in fast motion. So let me share with you what I was doing. So we had let our cranberries pop and cook up. And to that, I added 40 ounces of the frozen thawed cherries that had been sliced, picked through, examined for pits. I added my teaspoon of grated orange peel, half teaspoon of cinnamon, quarter teaspoon of cloves, and then I added 6 tablespoons of pectin pre-mixed with a quarter cup of sugar. Once that came to a full rolling boil that could not be stirred down, then I added our remaining 6 3/4 cup sugar. Now in the fast motion video, I did taste it and it looks like I put the spoon back in the pot. My jars are sealing. I did not do that because somebody's going to say that. I actually put it in the sink. But then once it comes back up to a full rolling boil that you cannot stir down, you want to cook it for 4 minutes. So I think that catches you up on the fast forward portion. I failed to mention, do not walk away from your jam while it is boiling for the 4 minutes. And also, if you start to get a foam on the top, which I did, you can add a pat of butter, and that will take that foam right away. If you are dairy intolerant or you don't have any butter on hand, certainly not a requirement. You just may need to skim off some foam or just deal with a little bit of foam in your jelly jars. So hang tight, I'll bring you right back. Okay guys, I have to laugh because I was trying to review the video and I never knew how to go in fast motion, but obviously I did for a portion of that video. So what I will do at the end is I will review the steps. It's okay that you see it in fast motion. It's you know, there's no magic. It's like making any other kind of jam, but I want to make sure that it's clear. But I'm like, really? You know, I'm kind of having one of those days. What's up with that? But you can see how beautifully our jam has cooked up. We only have about 10 seconds left on our 4 minutes. Then I am going to set up my canning station and I'll bring you back to show you how we jar up. All right, well, we're ready to start jarring up. So I have here the funnel in one of my hot jars that I just took out of the canner. And I am going to fill, hopefully in the jar, not on the countertop. I'm gonna fill this up to the 1/4 inch head space. And one thing I like about this PrepWorks spoon is that it does have the hook on the side. So sit this over, and because this is a thick jam, I am going to debubble. And also, because the jam is sticky, I am going to make sure that I clean my rims really, really well. And wowza, is that ever hot. So do be careful because this will burn you. And let's get a hot lid and ring, finger tight. In the canner it goes. So I did turn my water bath canner up to the process highest temperature once this jam finished its cooking and I started removing jars. So I am just going to keep filling. Deep bubble. And actually, I think I got a little carried away on that one. Let's take a little bit out. Oops, I don't think a slotted spoon will work. Oh my goodness. All right. You know, sometimes this happens to me around the holidays. I have so many things, pardon me, that I want to do. And, you know, I'm not always fully present in the moment, so I have a tendency to make some silly mistakes. I put the camera actually on time lapse is what makes the fast motion, so at least I found that out. All right, so let me show you. Beautiful, beautiful, dark burgundy jam. So I'm gonna keep filling and I will bring you back to talk about how many jars I got and what the process time is. So stay tuned. Well, our jam is now in the canner. I got 10 4-ounce jelly jars, plus that's a little over an inch headspace. And the last one, ooh, that is still hot. And I just wanted to share with you, I mean, this is where I have scooped out a little bit. Look how nice that jelly came out, or jam, I should say. So, yeah, definitely gelled up just fine. And I'm going to let the canner process for 10 minutes if you're at 1,000 feet or below. I'll turn it off, take the lid off, let it sit for 5, then I'll bring the jars out and bring you back for some final thoughts. Well, our jars have processed, just pulled them out of the canner. I see one has already sealed. I heard it go, so they might be pinging while we're talking. I wanted to share with you my 10th jar. It's not completely cool, but look how nice and thick and delicious that jam is going to be. So I'm excited that I actually have one that can go in the fridge and I can eat it right away without feeling guilty. So again, I apologize, ping number 2, for the error in fast forward, but because it was the bulk of making jam, what I'm actually going to do, and it may seem seamless to you, is I'm going to insert a clip saying what I was doing, then you'll see the fast forward clip and then return to normal speed. So happy Vlogmas number 7. I hope you are well. I hope you are healthy. I hope you are blessed. Ping again, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Take care.